Dear student, let's talk about enthalpy today. So, the definition of enthalpy is, it is the sum of internal energy and P minus V work. It is denoted by H and the formula is U plus PV. The next point about enthalpy is, it changes in chemical equation and that is why I should define enthalpy change. So, what is enthalpy change? Amount of heat absorbed or evolved. Evolved means released in a reaction when the number of moles of reactants react with specified moles of other reactants completely to form products. Okay. So, that heat is known as enthalpy or enthalpy change in any chemical reaction, and we write it in way of delta H equal to delta U plus P delta V. Okay. Alright, let us see the next part of the enthalpy now. So, we know that PV equal to nRT. So, in this equation we can also write it whether as delta H equal to delta U plus delta NGRT, where delta Ng is change in the gaseous mole. Okay. And if I say PV equal to nRT, there N is number of moles. Alright. Next point about the enthalpy, like we have three observations. If delta Ng equal to 0, if delta Ng greater than 0, if delta Ng less than 0. Okay. So, if delta Ng equal to 0, then delta H equal to delta U. If delta Ng positive, I mean greater than 0, then delta H greater than delta U. So, this is how we observe three things in this process. Next point, the next part of enthalpy is enthalpy of formation. What is enthalpy of formation? It is defined as the enthalpy change when 1 mole of a substance is formed from its element in the most stable state is known as standard enthalpy of formation. The next point, I mean the next concept in the enthalpy is enthalpy of combustion. Energy changes when 1 mole of substance is completely burnt in the presence of oxygen to give CO2 and H2O. This is known as enthalpy of combustion. Okay. The next point about this enthalpy is efficiency of fuel. So, efficiency of fuel we measure in terms of its calorific value. So, let us study the next point, I mean calorific value in the enthalpy. It is the amount of heat released when 1 gram of fuel is completely burned. Okay. So, that time the released heat is calorific value, and more is the calorific value, more is the efficiency. Now, we have completed the enthalpy topic. I hope you understood the lecture. Thank you for watching.